All right. Um, I don't know if you guys can tell if we're live. I can't. I don't even know if I can hear myself. Hold on, y'all. If you guys could put a one in the chat, I don't have a pulse thing, so you guys could let me know. Shout outs to everybody here. My signal last night, we were live, and I was doing an advertisement for Hemp for Fitness, and my signal went out last night, and I'm like, damn, I gotta do this again. We gotta start all over, but the signal is still out. It was a thunderstorm, and I guess it just knocked the signal out, man. Haven't heard anything since, you know. So if you guys could let me know if you guys could hear me, that would be perfect. All right. Let me put this poll. And you guys just let me know if you guys can hear me. Give me one. Uh, let's see. All right. Mm. Okay. So you guys can hear me. All right. Well, charge this real quick. Mm. So yeah. Um. Let me wait till everybody. This is why I don't go live on YouTube, because they don't be putting out the notification. I gotta use a third. I gotta use a third party um, website to put out the notification and stuff. So it kind of sucks. Let me see if I can fire this thing up and get this thing working real quick. So yesterday on the show, we was talking about a lot of different stuff. My Wi-Fi is completely gone. You know, that shit went the hell out. You know, it was thunderstorming, and everything got knocked out. Everything got knocked out. Bad enough I'm working with broken equipment. But we talked about a lot of different stuff. So I heard, and I didn't even heard, saw. I don't even know what's going on, man. I mean, hey, that's y'all. You know, over there on Razor Ray's show, he had BMT. What's going on, Wolf? My bad about the show last night. My whole service went out mid-show. Good to see you, man. Shout outs to you. My Wi-Fi is still out right now, you know, but I barely got this stream going. So we on our cell phone. We on the cell phone, you know. Man, Wolf, you been watching what you call it? The WWE. They said Raw sucked last night, man. What's your thoughts on Rampage Jackson's son doing what he did? That shit, man. I ain't gonna lie. When I saw him slam dude, Alabama slam looks a little. He kind of he slammed dude on his head. Like dude hit his head. You know, like he kind of over cranked that Alabama slam. You know, I was watching Maven not so long ago, and I got a refresher, you know, on some wrestling stuff, and I was like, dang, that's how they do it. That shit look crazy, right? So Maven's channel, not, and he went over certain moves, right, y'all? That is supposed to that that looks treacherous. That's supposed to hurt, and they obviously look treacherous, and I'm pretty sure they're supposed to hurt. Um, he was talking about like the Batista slam and a couple of other slams and stuff like that. I was like, dang, you know, that's interesting. How do they do a Batista slam and that shit not hurt? Well, if you think about it, if you hit the mat at the same time instead of actually just like power bombing the hell out of somebody, the impact it takes, you know, weight off, you know, because the ring kind of, you know, bounces when you slam down. So if both of y'all bodies are hitting the mat, you know, it kind of takes, you know, impact off the slam. And I'm like, so it's not really a slam. So I'm like, dang, that's interesting, you know. I ain't gonna lie, I don't think they gonna take Maven back, y'all. Maven been giving away all the kayfabe, but then again, Triple A the kayfabe. He said, I gotta talk to you later because something major happened. Okay, bro. Most definitely. Most definitely. Um, yeah, he destroyed his career. I don't even know what career he had, but that shit probably done. Jadunsky, you know. Um, that shit is probably done. He said, "Trust me, this is the best ever told." You know, I don't look at that as stories, man. You just telling me what's going on, you know. Trust me, you gonna get to a point where it's just so much shit happening and so much women and shit. Like it's like you can't even tell the story anymore. You know what I'm saying? Y'all want to talk about some player shit on today's show? You know, y'all please hit the like button. Shout outs to everybody here. Thank you, everybody. Please hit the like button on the way in. Double tap the screen, and definitely please support the show. Please support the show. Hit the Cash App. Hit the PayPal. Let's get into some player shit. We're gonna talk about some player shit, and we're gonna talk about some other stuff. You know, yeah, I'm sad that my Wi-Fi and stuff isn't working right. I'm on like some weird, so y'all let me know if it goes in and out. I'm on like a weird channel right now. So, if it goes in and out, y'all let me know. But let's get into some player shit. We just gonna make the most out of what we got right now. I don't give a damn if I'm giving y'all a show on my cell phone. We gonna give y'all a real show because a lot of people give y'all less, Y'all hold me down, Support show. You said, let me put it to you like this. I made you proud, Brody. That's what's up, man. You know? And yeah, man, it ain't about me. It's about you. You know what I'm saying? Because like I've said in my books, and like I've said on air, and like I've said on panels, and like I've said everywhere, you guys know what's best that's going on in your situations and stuff. You guys know what's going on in your situations. And you guys know how everything is set up. And you guys know how to handle everything. So if you got certain situations going on with certain women, aside from different, nuanced things, and also what I would say, you know, um, uh, nuanced things in what I would say, what's the word I'm looking for? Situational things, things that pop up out of nowhere. You got to know how to handle certain things. One of the things that helped me out with being situational and handling things was in school. Cause I should have, or I wouldn't say I should have, cause I still do, and I laugh. I took drama class, and I was a comedian, honestly, but in a like I was just funny, I'm actually pretty hilarious, I'm a funny guy, and that's not me, hyping up myself. Like I found out, not necessarily on accident, but I found out that like I'm a funny guy. Like I'm not just like funny with jokes that I tell myself and jokes that I laugh at when I told myself, but funny to other people. And I found out in the weirdest way because, I got siblings, right? But I'm the youngest of all my siblings. And, and I'm not like super young than all my siblings. I'm like 2, 3 years younger, than my siblings. And, you know, um, when my siblings moved out and stuff like that, I spent a good time alone. And I'm not. I am a loner, but I'm not necessarily a loner. I work well in groups also, right? Anyway, um, so a lot of my teenage years, my years like as a young adult, like I really just moving around by my damn self, and obviously my friends and shit. But when I took drama class, right? I ended up being good at this game called freeze tag, right? And what we would do is we'll get a bunch of chairs. Like if y'all ever watched Whose Line Is It, or if y'all ever watched like any type of like improv show, I would tell you guys just even for yourself, because it's other than the people at the improv, it's not really a group thing. But do a little bit of improv. Improv will really help you be really good, with doing things, situationally, or being confident when certain things, start popping off, and it helps you out with a lot of shit tests that women will throw out there, you know, or at least help you be more creative. That's the thing. It'll help you be a little bit more creative because ain't nothing in ain't nothing on Al Gore's internet gonna stop women from doing shit tests, And the world got its own shit tests that it's gonna deal out, you know. So, you just got to be prepared for just anything to pop off, anything to happen, you know. So, um, when you're dealing with particular and certain types of shout outs to Evron. Shout outs to Evron, man. Yeah, man. My thing dropped off yesterday, man. I had another side of the to run by you, bro. I appreciate you, man. My Wi-Fi went smooth out. It was thunderstorming outside, and thunderstorms usually don't affect Wi-Fi, but even right now it's not working. All five of them says no connection. So it's like, God damn. I asked the company. I'm like, yo, when y'all think y'all gonna get this thing back on? They're like, they don't know because the thunderstorm kind of fucked over everything yesterday. So it ended before. Yeah, man. I was gonna go on some more Larry June. I was gonna sneak in some currency and what you call it, some primo rice. Real player shit, man. You know, real player shit. They said currency. This what you call it? Not currency. They said Freddie Gibbs this currency on that new Alchemist tape. But I don't think this was as bad. Yeah, bro. Yeah, Mick Jenkins is dope, bro. All of the music that you've been requesting, Wolf. I appreciate you guys for requesting music. You know, um, Evron and Wolf, like all of the music that you requested, Wolf. When I go looking for instrumentals, those are the instrumentals that I look for. Mick Jenkins, Aaron May, and what you call it, Isaiah Rashad. You know, and I got some Larry Junes also, instrumentals type shit, but like I don't know, man. I've been experimenting with like a lot of different flow schemes, but like I don't know. I need to find my stride, man. One of I just need I need a I need I need a recent I need a newer flow scheme that's gonna stick. You know, I just kind of feel like I'm just experimenting every time I do music, and like none of them is really sticking, and that kind of happens. That happens when you make music and stuff like that. You start experimenting with a lot of stuff, and you step away from something for a little bit, and then you come back. So I really don't think I find something that has motivated me for a minute. I ain't gonna lie, I've been looking for a muse. I've been looking for a couple of different things, to start playing around back again with music and stuff. And it's not like I don't have the tools and the instruments here. I also learned how to take what I got. I need to sit down and all the unreleased stuff that I have. I need to take what I got and run them through a what you call it, a what is it called? I need to run it through a mastering sequence. You know, because the studio that I got here is not really, it's good, but it's like good for like reference track and like rough mixes and stuff. So I need to get certain things mixed and mastered, but I don't have my old engineer, and then I would have to talk to my engineer how to really, and not engineer, but like him, he knows what he's doing. I have to get him to really mold my sound the way I would like it. So all the music y'all been hearing from me, those are reference tracks. Those are like rough mixes. You know. Okay, I'm glad you guys can hear me. Okay, cool. So yeah, what's another topic that we gotta cover? So again, um, I saw a little bit of Razor Ray's show with BMT on it yesterday, and that shit is just funny. He had some weird African girl on there that's never been to Africa. Like, this shit is funny. He had some weird African woman on there calling him out about how he's promoting sex. You know what I'm saying, amongst the passport bros. You know, there was a dude that tried to come through not too long ago and was trying to say, you know, he was asking me, he was like, "Yo, do you salute the pimping?" And I'm like, "Bro, don't 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 say shit to me about me saying that I salute the pimping. You know, like the real players or the real PIs and stuff like that. I don't want to hear nothing about that, because if you are a passport bro, you out your depth to even try to talk to anybody that salutes any type of, you know, playership. You know, and I'm not saying the pimping is playership. The pimping is completely different than quote unquote playership. You know, so when I say certain things, I'm like, I salute the game. You know, because you know, most people that got an opinion or want the game have no idea of, you know, of you know, of the game. And as y'all can see, what's going on, Young Jay? You saw that goofy ass shit. I saw a tad bit of it before I went live. BMT over there getting roasted by that African woman and shit. You know, most of the people that got an opinion on the game is not. You know, I don't always talk about pimping and macking. And if I talk about pimping and macking, I talk about it from the standpoint of the game, of having game. You know what I'm saying, Mr. G? So that's why I so that's why you know I tell you guys from a perspective like, okay, if that woman got herself into that type of in that type of trouble, who do she, the streets, and a lot of other people expect to come get her up out of that bind that she got her in? You know, what the hell did that fool said? What he say? Cause he's another one telling niggas to go buy a coochie. I don't respect that shit. What's going on, hold up? I don't respect that shit. I don't, you know, y'all double tap the screen to hit the like button, please, and please support the show. My you know, Wi-Fi is it went out, so I'm really going through, you know, high water and hell to bring y'all this stream. So we on my cell phone, which could pick up a better signal. Okay. You know, what's going on, and one play five? Good to see you, player. Real players in the building. Oh man, okay, yeah, we really about to chop it up, man. It's a treat when some players meet, but it's much more respect when they truly connect. Let's go. You said but ain't when people talking about having game means macking necessarily mean macking, bro. You know, that's the thing. It don't necessarily means macking. See, yeah, I like Toby. Yeah, it definitely does. It definitely does, Wolf. Definitely don't want to get into trick sex, y'all. That trick sex ain't you know ain't where it's at. You know, all right. So shout outs to my players in the building. Shout outs to my bakers. You know, I am the chef. You know, so let me cook real quick. You know, y'all support the meal. Y'all support the food. hit the Cash App, hit the PayPal. I got you guys. Definitely, even rain, sleet, or snow, even on the phone, I'm gonna give you a show. Okay, so right, um, the game isn't always about macking. Okay, and like I've for years, there's a difference between running game, and there's a difference between having game. When you obtain and maintain and have game, and you possess game, you don't have to run game. You know what I'm saying? You can if you want to, but you don't have to run game. 9 times out of 10, if you're running game, you don't have game. You know what I'm saying? If you got a run game, you don't have game. You know? So there's a difference between having game and running game. And usually people that don't have game got a run game. You know? Having and possessing game will attract women to you. And you're gonna be getting so much women just basically doing you, you know what I'm saying? That you don't have to run it. You don't have to run it. You know what I'm saying? Also too, when you're learning the game to a certain degree, you're really learning how to be you. You know? When women tell you, hey, just be yourself, they're not lying to you, but they don't know what the hell they're talking about. You know what I'm saying? And it's the same advice that women have to give themselves. A lot of women don't know how to be themselves because they change up. They're steady looking for themselves in a lot of the things they do. This is why women, they experiment with new looks and stuff like that, with new hair color. They slice their eyebrow, or they put on makeup a different way, or they dress a little bit different, or they play around with different things. A lot of women have definitely, quote unquote, cosplayed as so much women that she probably don't know who she really is. You know what I'm saying? So, it's true that you got to be yourself, but um, you got to turn around and learn how to be yourself, whatever that means, and you got to learn how to be yourself. And a lot of the traits that involves you being yourself, it falls under you learning how to be yourself. So you got to learn how to be something that you're probably not, which is yourself. You know what I'm saying? And it's it's easy and it's more obvious when a man isn't being himself, because he actually models himself after other men. Whereas there's really no integrity or nothing really expected from women when you see a woman obviously cosplaying as another woman. You know what I'm saying? And I've seen, men cosplay as other artists and actually get a lot of women. I used to run with the back in the day, and I never really. I mean, I ran with them, but for a little bit of time. When I was moving around, I had a friend named Tokyo, and literally he basically looked like Wiz Khalifa, like the old Khalifa man, with the goddamn blonde patch in his head. And you know like he got a lot of bitches because of that. you know that's why I be laughing when y'all be listening to these women talk about hypergamy and all this other goofy shit. It's like, if a lookalike if a good lookalike of an artist pops up in front of that woman, she going. A lookalike. I'm talking about a straight up lookalike. Like, if you cosplay as a little Uzi Vert or some shit, right? And you show up to a fucking show, man, you gonna get some coochie just because you look like Little Uzi Vert. Not because she likes Little Uzi Vert, because you look like Little Uzi Vert. So even if you're a good impersonator, you gonna get some coochie. You know? And I just use Uzi as a example. Let me catch up on the comments, okay? Jay said he was talking about where game macking pimping came from, uh, all the way down to the to how black men attract women based on pimp/game lingo. Okay, so Coach Greg Adams, aka Isaac Hayes, let me stop. Coach Greg Adams, he isn't. That's first of all, most black people don't attract black women based on pimp and game lingo. That's number one. Most black people be just dressing. Okay? Most black men do not attract black women on no damn pimp and game lingo. Most black men just be wanting to talk to women and be dressing. Okay? Most black men don't even believe in pimp and game lingo. A specific concentration, subset, or group of guys believe in pimping and game lingo. So he's wrong with that one. As a matter of fact, most black men reject pimping and game lingo because most black men worship black women. So he's wrong on that one. And most of them don't know the game to do that, so they just be dressing. This is why black men and young black boys shoot each other over Jordans. Pay attention, y'all. About to drop some knowledge you can't get in college, all right? All right? Y'all bless the show and support the show, all right? So most black men do not follow no rules of no game or anything like that. Most black men actually doubt the game. Okay? That's number one. All right? So Coach Greg Adams is wrong on that one. All right? Jay said, but then get mad at these women for being hoes. He brought up some solid points. Coach Greg Adams is not doing no better also. You got the trick ass niggas mad at women for being hoes. Then going to reward them and buy pussy from them. I don't want to hear no nigga really get mad at hoes when he's rewarding them and encouraging you to reward them. You know, anything Coach Greg Adams say at this point, respectfully, is inadmissible if he's out here rewarding hoes. And then getting on here and talking about their behavior. You reward them. You keep that going. She wouldn't be hoeing if you didn't keep it going, you know? Yeah, listen, the whole point of teaching and learning game isn't for y'all to become no damn pimps or players or nothing like that overnight. These are tools and gambits that you guys can use to enhance certain situations and stuff like that. It's the same thing with the red pill. I'm not telling you to go out there and go get a stable of hoes. What I'm telling you is that, listen, this is, if you ever run into this situation, this is how you get out that situation and also leave that situation with a bunch of cool points, and shorty gonna be on you like white on rice. You just got to peep the game to be like, oh, okay, I see what you did there, without me having to overly explain it. You know? You said, yeah, I got to talk to you because of my previous weekend backs up what you're saying right now. See? Yeah. And see, Wolf, you see how I don't have to exactly know what's going on, but what I'm showing you, or what I'm saying, lines up, is because when you get enough, you get enough wisdom and experience, with certain things, it's all gonna all come together. It's all gonna come together. It's all gonna come together. You won't have to be aimlessly searching these YouTube streets to try to get game, you know, and that's not what you're doing, but that's what a lot of these poor lost souls around here have been doing for years, and it's like, bruh, life is unique to you. You know what I'm saying? So when you maintain and obtain this, to obtain the game to use in your own life, you know, I was just, when I got kicked off air last night because of the storm and the Wi-Fi. You know what I did, y'all? On the way to sleep, or while I sat down playing solitaire, went back to studying. Uh, I was listening to one of my favorite books that I ended up getting an audio book version of it from Carl Jung. I listened to Carl Jung, Life and Times of Man and stuff like that. And man, ooh wee, the amount of game that's in that book, man. Shit. Modern man in search of his soul. All right. Give me 1 second. You say you going over the travel war, space war today? Yeah, yeah. I was chiming in on it. Y'all double tap the screen. Please support the show. Oh shit. Let me find it's working. Hold on. Ooh, one of them is working. Hold on, y'all. It's weak. All right, hold on. Sometimes being yourself push folks away, and that's a good thing too. Absolutely. Absolutely. But sometimes that's what's stopping you from getting what you want, and that's what's stopping you from getting women, being yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times you don't know how much I wouldn't necessarily say it's your true self, but that version of yourself that you are presenting, it repels women away from you, you know? So a lot of niggas, they gotta, you gotta have a balance of being yourself. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of niggas don't realize they're whole repellent. You did. You said so. Treat life like Comic Con. Dress up like to get women. No, no, no. You don't got to do that. I'm not telling you got to dress up. I'm just saying that um, I seen a lot of dudes cosplay to kind of find themselves. It's actually a technique called the Red Dragon technique, where you figure out what celebrity you look like, and just for just some reason, but do it yourself. You know, dress up like them. Sort of. Or wear certain things that you think they would wear that you have. Let me tell you something, man. If you were to even go, because this is another problem that y'all haven't seen Kevin Samuels go through, or have yet to see him go through. If you were in real life trying to help dudes literally just get their wardrobe together, you would see how uncomfortable guys you will see how uncomfortable guys are with their own damn self. Just niggas to learn how to dress themselves. Like bro, wear some clothes that fit. Hey, wear these type of shirts, because even though you don't go to the gym, it makes you look a little bit more, muscular. Hey, do this. Hey, do that. You will hard pressed to see how much trouble you will go through just to get guys to dress comfortably. Get rid of the dragon shirt. Burn the dragon shirt. You know. You say you're right. Impersonating Chris Brown. I know I'm right. I've seen everything. I don't necessarily got to be on the scene every day to tell y'all what's going on. Coaches don't play, baby. What's BGS? BGS is he's a Gnostic. He's an Ibmore, introspective black man of reform. I think I saw something too of him talking about thos. you know, footing the bill for all the Manosphere conclaves. I think they just had one in Miami, if I'm not mistaken. I thought they were gonna do it in Atlanta, but okay. You said he played some clips of Sugar Free giving game on this TV show he's on. Um, I haven't really seen any clips recent. Well, actually, I have seen of Sugar Free giving game, but Sugar Free always give game. And what the hell do Coach know about Sugar Free anyway? To even be talking the way he talking about the game. You know what I'm saying? I saw Sugar Free giving Drewski some game. You know. You said this is a good topic. Folks really don't talk about stuff like this in a positive light. Yeah, and they don't really support it neither. As it should be supported. You know. But shout outs to the supporters that do support the game. You said at this point, women are so over niggas. You said nothing you gonna say gonna change their first conceived thought of you. Either you go along with it or not. That's the thing that I like about being a man. You could change a woman's mind. You know, if you could change a woman's emotions, you could change her mind easily. So a woman that was once not attracted to you, you can re-attract her. You know? That's the dope part about being a man. I do it all the time. Like I will meet somebody and they will have I will meet like a young lady and she will have like a depending on how I meet her or where I meet her, she'll have like a different opinion of me. And then sometimes even if she's attracted, I would, or this would happen. I would reframe her opinion of me. So she'll meet me and think one way of me, and then I'm like, oh, that's what you think. Nah, I'm really like this, and it's like, oh, even better, or oh, okay, I didn't expect that, or so you know just like dudes could talk their way out some coochie. And best believe if you talk your way out some coochie, it goes back to a principle that I tell you guys that goes hand in hand with attraction. A lot of women that you're gonna meet will give you more credit in the beginning than what you worked for or earned. Women and people have no choice but to sometimes put credit on other people because guess what? You're not the first person they've met. They've met many people before. So a lot of times you come in with value you never really had to work for. You know what I'm saying? A lot of y'all that are new here, y'all came in worshiping, some of y'all Samuelites came in worshiping Kevin Samuels. And guess what? You didn't have to see Kevin Samuels on his come up to give him that value. You didn't have to. All you had to learn was that, oh, I think I quote unquote found the manosphere. Oh, isn't that the same place where Kevin Samuels is from? Oh, okay. Well, you didn't have to see or know too much about Kevin Samuels to give him the value and give him the credit. You know what I'm saying? Upon coming into the space, it just seemed like the right thing to do because that's what everybody else was doing. you know and I'm not necessarily going over social proof. What I'm saying, a lot of people come in with values. If we're talking hip-hop and a whole bunch of people are like goosing over Ruby Rose, by the time you see a picture of her, you're gonna be like, oh, okay, I kind of see why people say that she's attractive and blah blah blah. Did you have a conversation with her? Have you seen her in person? Have you met her? Do you know if you'll even like her? You know? But people, they get what's called, perceived value, all the time without necessarily having to work for it. Do you understand what I'm saying? So it's the same thing like when you date through your social circle. if your best friend introduces you to somebody that's their friend, and y'all are kind of, and they tell them that, hey, you're dating or you're in a social circle, 9 times out of 10, that friend may have heard about you through that friend, and they kind of build up this model and this personality and stuff like that, to the point that when you get introduced to somebody from your social circle, you probably know about them, or have heard about them already, and you don't have to do no type of icebreaker. You don't have to do no type of, hey, my name is such and such. You don't have to do no introduction. You can just go straight to, comfort, and what you call it, comfort and seduction. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe a little bit of qualifications. Oh, such and such told me a lot about you. What do you got going on these days? What are you doing? You know, that's a form of qualification. And qualification is also a stage of attraction. If somebody wasn't interested in you, they wouldn't ask, you know, uh, what you're doing these days. Yeah. Yeah, you got to learn yourself and find a balance. That makes sense. Absolutely. Absolutely. And then some of the stuff, like, I'm not saying that in a tense, like, learning about yourself. I'm not saying that you can't be yourself, but what I am saying is that, I'm not saying that you can't be yourself, but what I am saying is that, some things are relegated for yourself. Some of your success, and some of the things that, some of the things that you may want to do. Sometimes you gotta keep that shit to yourself. You know, or it's better for you to keep it to yourself. You know, that's why they call them self accolades. Yeah, cut your hair, no Jordans. Yeah, burn that dragon shirt. Yeah, coaches don't play. Yeah. What's going on, Ghostman Kane? You said not the Ed Hardy dragon shirt. Salute. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Shit, niggas still wearing Black Label and shit. Like, goddamn, nigga, that font is outdated. But hey, look, you know what? That Black Label shit coming back in. Niggas wearing bejeweled shirts and shit. I blame Uzi again. You know. You said I would have gone to the conclave in Miami, but the chips were not right. I feel you. I feel you. Yeah, I like the Griffies. Yeah, I like the Griffies. I like these. Can't go wrong with Air Maxes. A lot of people don't subscribe to Kevin, and respectfully, I mean, rest in peace to Kevin. He's a different archetype. He was a different archetype of brother. It is what it is, and it's gonna be what it's gonna be, man. My problem isn't attractive women. My problem is making it to the altar. Laugh out loud. Yeah, yeah, I can see that. Cause man, we get bored with women also. Once we kind of get to know them, it's like, it's gonna take some work before me and you get to the altar. As you should though. Niggas be telling y'all, oh, y'all got to get married after 2 years of knowing each other. No, the fuck you don't. I ain't gonna lie. You got, depending on the girl. There's women that I probably would marry in 2 years. I'm not even gonna lie, but most likely, depending on the girl, you have to. Ooh, baby, a good 5 years, 6 years. You know. Yeah. Yeah. But a lot of guys, most guys don't know how to dress. So there's a lot of roads that men go down that's like not completed for you to learn about yourself. You know what I'm saying? And like I'm not even gonna lie, when you put that shit on so much in life, after a while you get so comfortable with yourself, you can literally wear anything. That's really where you want to get your confidence at. You can literally wear anything. A guy that's telling you out the rip that he can just wear anything off the rip, nah, that's bullshit. Most guys don't possess that type of confidence. You know, you can literally go wear Walmart shit and a bitch won't even care because you exude so much confidence. You know, honestly, too, a lot of men must know that's why a lot of men cheat. You know, a lot of men cheat because you know they when they start getting women and shit like that, you know, they exude this confidence and this demeanor because they already have a woman that they start, they start having this demeanor and it attracts women, you know. Also, too, women leave pheromones on you also, you know. A lot of these guys, Kevin didn't get into this type of stuff, and I'm glad I didn't mention it because then I would start hearing my rhetoric on the show. Did you guys know that with perfumes you're mixing pheromones, and that when you wear certain colognes and fragrances and stuff like that, you don't want just a masculine scent. You also want a feminine scent on you also. You understand what I'm saying? So it's also good to get like a good fragrance that women like and mix it with literally have like 50 to 65% of your masculine uh you know either musk or oil or cologne or whatever you're using, and literally have like 25 to 30 to 45% of that feminine scent on you. And I know it's not conventional to tell dudes to have a little bit of a woman's perfume on them, but the thing is that when you see a woman go to a Victoria's Secret or let's say Sephora or somewhere where they go buy their products, don't you see how women smell the the perfume and be like, you know, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. Literally, I'm gonna give y'all a big tip right here. If you really want to attract women and you don't really have no smell in particular, cucumber melon attracts women. Cucumber melon. Also, too, there's this love potion that you can use where you literally boil watermelon and put spurts of lemon in it, and I think there's something else you put in it also. And bro, go to a venue or go to a certain place and see if you don't see women just gravitating over towards you. But see, none of that shit means anything unless you know how to talk to women or you know what you're doing. You know. Why is this shit cutting the fuck off? Like, this shit is about to piss me off. Hold on, y'all. You know what? Never mind. You said, hell, niggas are growing their hair back since haircuts went up in price. Absolutely. And most men, their hair is longer than women's hair. Cause men, we get our hair done, we get our hair done, but we don't touch our hair as much as women do. Yeah, you definitely get bored. You said you're right, Cuda. I pull up in work clothes and just be cool. Absolutely. You know? Yeah, fresh shower definitely never fails. And that's the thing too. Like your cologne and stuff like that, you bring that into the shower with you, and you with the soap that you're using, you spray some of that cologne on your washcloth or your rag or whatever you got, and and you take a shower with it, while your pores are open. Yeah. He said that's why he had a few unisex colognes. He knew about that shit, but niggas ran with the LGBT narrative. That's how I knew these internet niggas don't know about cologne for real. Yeah, yeah. Niggas will approach women smelling like ass and wondering why they don't get any ass, you know? Shout outs to UFO Kamikaze. He said, I've attracted women since childhood. No serious effort was ever required. Right. And I'm not even gonna lie. I mean, there's a lot of ways for you to you know what I'm saying? To obtain and have that confidence to get women and stuff like that. Like those notches that y'all be wanting under y'all belt, you know, those notches, that's not for other men. That's for, you know, what am I trying to say? When you've had a bunch of, when you can look back and be like, dang, yeah, me and her, you know, you look back at some of your exes, you look back at some of the women you deal with, and if you can confidently say to yourself, yo, yeah, she was bad as hell. And then you look back at another ex and you're like, yeah, she was bad as hell too. Like if you have a track record, and only you know your track record once you start getting older, your friends and family ain't gonna see every single woman you've talked to, dealt with, or been with. So only you know your true track record. You understand what I'm saying? Only you know if you adding extras onto something or not onto something. What's going on, Gold P? Oh man, now I'm really about to drop some game. Real player in the building. Yes, Sirski. Yes. Yes. Shout out to Gold P in the building. Gold P in the place to be. Already know. But yeah, you know, I'm letting you guys know, you know your track record more than anybody else. You know if you've dated bad women. You know if you've dated a bunch of goofy women. You know if you've dated, you know, women that niggas would kill to be with. You know this. Yes, sir. Shout outs to the Gold Professor in the building. Make sure y'all subscribe to Gold Professor, man. Shit. Y'all tripping. But I'm gonna tell y'all some real shit. You know, it's like you have to, really be in tune with yourself. You know, you really have to be in tune with yourself to possess that type of confidence and stuff like that. You know, you'll be getting women just going out running errands and shit like that. You ever have to go run errands and it's like, dang, you just start attracting people that you normally wouldn't attract. You know, you gotta have that type of confidence for your own damn self because caskets don't have bunk beds, man. You know, caskets don't have bunk beds. You know, you can spend a good amount of your life sitting around moping and wondering and all kinds of stuff, or you could spend a good part of your life living it and understanding it. You know, putting yourself in situations where it's like, dang, I thought I wasn't gonna, you know, be able to do this, but lo and behold, I did it. You know, you could put yourself in situations where, you kind of underestimated yourself, and then you come out on the other side, and you like, damn, I need to start believing in myself a little bit more. You know, and that's because that's how you're programmed. When you pick up that cell phone and you're listening to things aside from player talk radio and getting this game, this knowledge you can't get in college, you're programming yourself in a different way. It's called being programmed. And what happens with your brain when you look at TV, you're being programmed. That's why it's called television programming. When you get on the internet, you're being programmed. Your brain is getting tugged and pulled every which way. Your brain is separate from your soul. Your soul is what grows old, not necessarily your brain. Your soul employs your brain and your body to do certain things, you know, consciously and subconsciously. And what happens is that when your brain takes in information it compartmentalizes it. And what I mean by compartmentalizing it is it breaks it down into small bits, and it also tries to use experiences and things that you've been through as references to try to gain an understanding of what's being said. You understand what I'm saying? So it breaks down, things in bite-sized pieces, just like when you choose something, you chew things to break it down in bite-sized pieces subconsciously, until you know what I'm saying, until you feel that it's safe to swallow it without being choked. You understand? This is why, like, if you ever go look at, like, people that do and they review food and stuff like that, and this goes into gluttony, and it gets into a lot of different things. When you eat food, yeah, subconsciously, the food tastes good and you're consuming it. But you got people that, that they're foodies, they're food connoisseurs. They take the time, right, to taste everything, taste every single chew. It's not just, oh, let me chew and hurry up and swallow this food. Pause. It's like, let me taste every single bit and piece of this steak that I'm eating. What can I taste? Primarily, what is the taste? What am I tasting? Can I pull other flavors from it? See, when I became a Psalm, I had to learn this stuff when I was, recommending and selling beer and wine. It was easy to sell beer to people because, beer is really good, especially a lot of microbrews and stuff. But beer is just straight up what it is. Wine, on the other hand, that's something completely different. You know, it's the same thing as smoking a cigar. Certain cigars have a flavor profile, and if you don't, you know, have it taste those flavors before, or if you don't have any experiences, you don't really have nothing to draw back from. You don't have a reservoir of experience to draw it from, to have a relationship with it. You know, in a lot of cases, your brain is wrong. That's what I'm trying to say. Sometimes you have to go against the grain, but not just the grain. You got to go against your brain, because your brain is designed to protect you. When you put your hand on a hot stove and you get burnt on that stove, you remember that because you remember the pain, you remember how it felt, and that stove probably gave you a nice receipt on your hand. You probably have to have ointment. Your hand was probably burning. You probably, got a scar and stuff like that, and that's from touching the stove. And that's because when you're young, you kind of really don't understand, and your brain, and also how you learn from your parents is also ingrained in your brain. Hell, did you even know that your spending habits are hereditary? It's some real shit. Also, too, you learn to stay away from plug sockets and stuff like that, or sticking forks in goddamn outlets and shit. There's certain things that is danger. Your brain doesn't mean harm, but your brain is trying to protect you. And this is why a lot of men have approach anxiety. This is why a lot of men, is very, a lot of men are very, conscious and cognizant. They're very aware of how they interact with the world, or how the world interacts with them. You understand what I'm saying? I'm attracted to the same thing, Hola. I'm attracted to the same thing. I love a goofy chick. I like goofy women because guess what? Goofy women, for the most part, they have their own personality, and you don't have to worry about your woman trying to impersonate other women. I'm not gonna lie, that's a turnoff to me. Like, if I'm sitting there and I'm watching Love and Hip Hop, or my girl's watching Love and Hip Hop, and I happen to be in the room, and I see this woman do something, and then next minute I see my girl trying to do the same thing to me, and it's like, bitch, you know we both sat there and watched that show. I know exactly what you're trying to do, and nice try is not gonna work. And I lose. I ain't gonna lie, I lose attraction from that shit. When a woman is like impersonating something, if Cassie shaves off the side of her head, and then all of a sudden she shaves off the side of her head, it's like, oh, and don't let you be a real player or an asshole and have the confidence and shit like that. Cause a nigga gonna be like, man, I just go get Cassie. I'll just go get it. Like, why sit here with the Timu Cassie? I can just go get a Cassie. You know. But yeah, man, you know, you guys, you do gotta have confidence in yourself and literally find yourself. You have that's the conquest of men. You have to learn how to be your own damn self. You know, and you gotta confidently learn how to be your own damn self, because uh niggas will lie to you. You know, niggas will lie to you. And they haven't walked that path. You know. Catch up on these comments. You said my problem with this game conversation is it's very abstract. It's like listening to BGS. I mean, after a while, bro, it's either you have it or you don't. You know, it's game is like a gun. It's better to have one than to not have one. You know what I'm saying? It's better to have one than to not have one. You know, it's better to get caught with some game than to not have it. You understand? A lot of y'all and a lot of men don't really understand how deep and far our disposability goes. Men are disposable. When nations get into war, young men die that don't know what's going on. When people vote, women that don't have to go to war, and other people and stuff like that don't know what the hell they're talking about, men suffer behind that. Okay? In a relationship, a lot of women look at you as disposable because you might necessarily not be in the military. You might not necessarily, you might grew up a little bit privileged. You might, but even in the dating game, a woman always expects a man to sacrifice or die for something. So she just puts herself there, you know? Because traditionally, men are disposable. You understand what I'm saying? Men are disposable. Because a man thinks to the world, what can I offer the world? And usually, it's his disposability. Oh, here, grab this pistol and run across that field. Pow, he dies. Then the general says, okay, so we're not going to go that way. Here, another man. Hey, go around here. We're going to run a flat. Pow. Okay, so they got that covered. Okay, well, men are disposable. As a man, you gotta get comfortable with the fact that you're going to get used. So how does the name of the game change when you realize that you're going to get used? Don't get misused. Men are disposable even for themselves. If you're going to be disposable for anybody, make it yourself. This is why in a lot of cases men give so much. It's kind of hard to tell a man to be selfish. You have to explain to him why he should put himself first. And even look at the context of how you would have to explain this to a man of why he should put himself first. Look at some of the caveats that you have to use to make this click to men. If I was to sit here and tell you, yo, you should put yourself first, and the question in your mind arises, why would you say that? Or what do you mean by that? I can literally make a lot of sense to you because I know that at some point you've been used. But I can make a lot of sense to you by simply just saying, what good are you to anybody else if you don't put yourself first? And it would make logical sense to a lot of men because you're currently being used. You've lessened yourself to being a utility for somebody to utilize you. So you know you're going to get used, just don't get misused. Your wife is going to use you. Your children is going to use you. Your friends are going to use you. Peers, you're going to get used. It's inevitable. Your job as a man is to make sure you don't get misused, What's going on, Christy? Your job is to make sure you don't get misused. You definitely don't want to get misused. So you, just like the objects that you use, has to, you know what I'm saying? Has to have some type of value to you. You have to gain some type of value about yourself. Look at the quote unquote high value man. It's just a nigga with a lot of resources that's gonna get used. But what does the high value man have to learn? He himself has to learn not to get misused. Cause on his way up, he's gotten used. If you guys are soaking up this game and it's making sense to you, no matter where you are, and enjoying this game, please hit the Cash App, hit the PayPal. Y'all listen to a lot of foolery throughout the day, so I appreciate you guys listening to some real shit today. I'm definitely cooking and giving you guys some real good mental chewing gum and stuff like that. Young brothers don't even speak like this. So definitely support one that does. Because it's some real shit. You definitely have to learn how to be yourself. You definitely have to learn how to put yourself forward. And women will tell you this. Women is a good precursor to learning this. Women is a good muse to actually, to learning this type of stuff. This is why women, they like men that are selfish. They like men that take care of themselves. They like men that aren't out here being used up like that. You want to know why? Because she sees a bit of herself in you. And emotionally, when she sees a bit of herself in you, she agrees with it. And she agrees with you. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's like an agreement that need not to be said. It's because you stick out. This is why they hate simps, because they're like, he will do that for any woman, and he's so head over heel for me. He's so head over heels for me. He's disregarding his own. You know what's funny about women? I'm gonna give y'all the game. Y'all hit the like button, support the show. You can support the show at $PTV 888. That's $PTV 888. That's $PTV 888. I'm gonna tell y'all something real. You know what's funny about women is that the same traits that they find attractive in a man that they're attracted to, the simp owns a lot of those same traits. It's just the variation and the firing order is wrong, you know. And I can explain this to you very easily with female psychology, that it's wrong. Okay. For example, a lot of women don't like simps because in the back of her head she knows that damn near any woman can have him. And it's like they get even more irritated when the simp that they feel that's for them, just like their man. Because I've given y'all so much game on how to get yourself out that friend zone. And you would see how hard women will work to keep that simp interested in her. She will work so hard to waste that simp's time, you know, because he's like a part of her, low key. She needs that simp or that validation or that person there for that particular task or job or mental comfort or support and stuff like that. But they're irritated. You know what I'm saying? Because she doesn't feel that she has to work to waste your time. You, as a simp, have told her she can openly and frivolously waste your time. That's the deal that you guys have. You understand what I'm saying? So it kind of repels her, you know what I'm saying, that because simps give away a really great quality, you know? Simps will be quality friends. Simps will give quality time. Simps will always be there at the beck and call. Simps will always kind of just, you know, be around and doing certain things. Simps will, you know, they will always be there. They give off a quality that, you know, that you know, women normally don't get. They give off that quality, those qualities, right? That women will want from a boyfriend, but she's giving them sexual attention. You understand what I'm saying? Simps really get their utilities really used up, you know. Now, look at those traits and then look at the traits of a man that she's attracted to. She's afraid that that man will go off and give another woman those qualities. Whereas the woman that knows that she got a simp, she's irritated by that. She'll even downplay it because she benefits from it and stuff like that, you know? She's irritated by that. If a simp says, "Okay, you know what? I've been hanging around you. You done friend zoned me. I'm feeling like an orbiter. Let me go get myself a woman." And I told you guys this when I told you guys how to get out the friend zone. Let me go get a woman that will, you know what I'm saying? Let me go get a woman that will appreciate me. Because I'm not getting appreciated here. She will get mad and get offended by that. You know? She will get mad and get offended by that. Or try to stop it. She'll dirty Mac. She'll dirty Mac. She'll immediately dirty Mac. Or get jealous of you if you actually have already took it a couple of steps. Don't let her find out you in the beginning. Don't let her find out. I love surrender. Don't let her find out you in the beginning stages of talking to another woman, because she's definitely gonna dirty Mac. She's for sure gonna dirty Mac. You dig? A dirty Mac is somebody that sees that you about to get somebody or something, and stuff like that, and they kind of step in, you know, they try to step in and sabotage that. She's gonna try to throw some salt in your game. You dig what I'm saying? So she'll definitely try to dirty mac you in the beginning stages. But if you like, hey, listen, I can't sit around and waste time with you today. I gotta go pick up my girlfriend. I gotta go do this, that, and the third. Oh yeah, she definitely gonna, she definitely gonna be on your ass, about that, or jealous, or have some choice of words, whether it's in front of you or behind your back, or about your girlfriend. And your girlfriend gonna probably tell you to cut her ass off eventually. And to a certain degree, if she's flying through dudes, cause some of y'all niggas be like four, 5 relationships in deep with her, and she done have 4 or 5 different niggas while you sitting up there waiting for your turn. She gonna know, you know what I'm saying, that she should have gave you a chance. You know, she gonna know. Oh yeah, absolutely, Hola. Yeah, she gonna know. She gonna know. You said, I never minded women dirty macking me. It just makes other women more curious. Yeah, if you know how to curate it, I've figured out back in the day how to do that also. Instead of a woman just throwing salt in my game and shit like that. That's why too, UFO, sometimes it's a good idea to have communication with the girl that you're dealing with and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Cause you can go back and go tell your girlfriend, yo, she kind of doing too much. Like she's jealous of you and shit like that. But I rather hang out with you anyway. Cause she be tripping and shit. So what we got going on today? Boom. And they need not to get close. You know, don't let her whisk your girlfriend off in no room and try to have alone time and talk to her and all that other stuff, because she gonna really throw salt in your game. You know, your girlfriend should really have no desire to do any of that anyway. But seeing how women are messy, you know. But if you straight up and you not, you don't gotta worry about none of that shit. Or if you and your girl locked in, you know. But anyway, the same traits. They like that, the same traits. They like that in a man that they're attracted to, and it's kind of repelling when they have you friend zoned, or you overtly are simping. You know, they like those same traits. You did. So y'all gotta understand attraction. Y'all gotta understand confidence, and y'all gotta understand women. It seems like it's a lot, but it's really not. It's actually straightforward. You know, they all do the same thing after a while. They all feel the same way after a while. And it's not me taking a dig and saying, oh, because they're women. No, because we all experience the same emotions all the time, not even after a while. You know, you get mad, you get sad, you get happy, you get joyous, you get, upset, you get, you know. So you got to know more about yourself, you know. And it helps you because guess what? You wouldn't stoop to some of the lows that you see a lot of guys, stooping to. To a certain degree. You yourself will stop you and be like, nah, this ain't me. You know, nah, this is kind of not what this is not what I'm into, you know. And I'm going to tell you some real shit too. A lot of the women that y'all are chasing, that's not the women that y'all actually want. That's the funny part. I pray that all of the guys, the types of women that they're chasing, I pray you get the majority of the type or types of women that you're chasing. So you can see what I'm talking about. I pray that a lot of you guys have the audacity to actually pull your, pull your type, and you'll realize like, dang, whole time I'm not even attracted to this type of woman. This woman is actually annoying. You know? Because you're going to have some better than the others. You're going to have some trying to emulate others. You're going to have, you're going to have a lot to say. I'll say that for sure. What's going on, Raven? Good to see you, man. Raven, man, y'all go check out my my YouTube shorts, man. I just dropped one not too long ago talking about Bianca Belair, how she's gonna come back as a heel. I got Bianca Belair coming back as a heel to feud with Rhea Ripley. You know. Yeah, I talked about that, Raven. Okay. Yeah. Shout outs to everybody here. Y'all please hit the like button. Please support the show via Cash App, via PayPal. If you guys been rocking with me, you did. Yeah, shout outs to Wolf. Shout outs to Raven. Shout outs to all my wrestling watchers too in the building and stuff like that. Yeah, Wolf was just talking about that. Yeah. You know Maven gonna say something about it if he already didn't. I saw Stevie Richards. He was gonna say something about it and stuff like that. Now, initially when I saw it, and I saw dude Alabama Slam, oh boy, you know, I didn't know. I didn't. When I saw him punching him, I was like, okay, those punches are real. And then when I thought about it, I looked at it. I'm like, dang, that little nigga lifted that big ass dude. That dude landed on the back of his head. I'm not gonna say, bro, felt all those punches, but if you look at that footage, he was like halfway unconscious after that Alabama Slam. And then on the way out, I'm pretty sure he felt like a good 2 of those punches. I'm pretty sure on his way out, he felt 2 of those punches. So, I don't know what's going on with that. I've been missing AEW also too. What's going on with Mercedes Monet and Tony Storm? I saw Tony Storm wrestling in a flannel joint not the other day. I said, "Oh man, timeless, the timeless one." Y'all please hit the like button and support the show via Cash App, via PayPal. Timeless. I like Tony Storm, yo. Oh shit. I'm surprised they have her doing the pile driver. Like, pile driver off the top rope is crazy. It's kind of more, it's not even really a pile driver if you look at it. It's kind of more like a, cause she bottom half thick, so it's kind of more like a X Factor. But anyway, go off. You did. Isn't Bailey still with the WWE? Shout outs to Hola. I got you, bro. Thank you. AEW is up. WWE is expensive. Okay. I thought Bailey was still with the WWE. You know, Bailey, Bianca Belair, and Mercedes Moné. You know. You said Bailey is, but we're all saying it's her time to leave. Yeah, she not really gonna get a championship run. You know what's going on, Insane One? Yeah, we're doing a phone show today. My Wi-Fi is out. Okay, so y'all let me know if y'all can hear me or not. You know, my Wi-Fi is gone. All right, y'all please hit the like button, support the show. Man, Insane One, if you just coming in, man, you gotta listen to the playback on today's video. Dropped a lot of game. Dropped a lot of game as always. Good to see you, bro. Shout outs to the Insane One. You know, funny thing is, Insane One is sane, y'all. So don't let the name fool you. All right, it's a good play. You know. What was I watching? I don't know. The other day, a lot of Pokemon stuff been coming up on my timeline. I ain't gonna lie, I was like actually impressed with it. I was watching them go back to like the old Pokemon game, and they were like, "Yo, can you get a legendary Pokemon and just like speed run the game through it?" I'm like, "Dang, I remember all of that shit." They would talk about all the Pokemons from blue, red, and I guess yellow, because yellow ended up being the best one. And I'm like, man, y'all forgetting the best Pokemon, Missigno. All the dudes in the chat was like, "What's Missigno? What is that? What is?" I'm like, see, damn, y'all niggas making me feel old, bro. Missigno was like that overly powered glitch Pokemon that you could catch. Fuck a Mewtwo. I use my Master Ball on Missigno. Missigno beat the hell out of all of them niggas. You said WWE has gotten ridiculous on prices, dog. Yeah, I saw something. They got this new. And shout outs to Auntie, because Auntie told me to do this, and I got some stuff coming up, but I I want to do this for the channel, but I need help getting new equipment, and I yeah, I saw one that was like I saw they got a new promotion coming up, and it's like they said it's like $4,000, $5,000 to $7,000 for floor seats. It's like, oh hell no. Was it like WrestlePalooza or some shit like that? Some they're asking for WrestleMania prices for a brand new uh pay-per-view that they don't know how it's gonna do, you know? Now, look at it this way. If they ask for those prices and people buy them, and they get their floor seats and stuff like that, and let's say the pay-per-view actually blows up, then it's like a new WrestleMania type shit. You see what I'm saying? This is what's going on. If y'all haven't picked up on it, I'm about to give y'all some real game. If y'all are into wrestling like that, all right, y'all hit the like button and bless the show, right? Bless the show. Triple H and the new management, they need their own WrestleMania. I'm gonna say that again. Triple H and the new management, they need their own WrestleMania. WrestleMania is too Vince McMahonish. That's really what's going on. They need their own version of WrestleMania that can compete and make more. WrestleMania is like old to them, you know, to them. So they need their own equivalent to WrestleMania. And yeah, and shit. And now that Hogan is gone, oh man, what the hell is a WrestleMania without? I'm not saying Hogan has to be there, but come on now. They're trying to retire WrestleMania. It's like a outdated brand, and it's too Vince McMahon. They're really trying to distance themselves from Vince McMahon, but you can't. You know, y'all go look up the documentary that's on Netflix and stuff like that, and it talks about the Attitude Era, and it talks about some of the stuff that that Vince had to do. You know, to get off in the Attitude Era. Vince had to he had to literally sacrifice himself to get into the Attitude Era, because at the time he was going against WCW, who was stealing, who was stealing. They weren't even stealing wrestlers. I can't even say that the WCW was stealing wrestlers. They were Wrestlers was just defecting over to the WCW. So it's not even that WCW was stealing wrestlers. Vince had to watch his back with who he was paying. And also, too, those wrestlers will take the gimmick that Vince gave them and go over there and go make some money. Scandalous, ain't it? And then also, I remember this too because I used to watch Nitro. I used to watch Monday Night Nitro, and I used to watch Raw. And I remember when Eric Bischoff was giving away who won and who lost, because a lot of the WWF shows were being pre-taped. So literally you could just watch Nitro, and literally he'll be like, this person won, this person lost. And you'll be like, damn. And then it's like, what? The Undertaker beat who? I'm not going to lie. Even though he gave you the results of who won and who lost, I still went over to Raw's War to see it. Like, because I want to see how they lost. You know what I'm saying? Honestly, I'm not even going to lie. In a weird way, as a kid, that made the show even more fun. Because you start seeing the back and forth, and you're like, damn, are you sure this person lost? And it's like, boom, there it goes. It's like, oh, okay, there it is. Two types of people in this world, y'all. People that don't want you. People that you got people that you don't want to hear the ending, or how certain things end, or the ending of a story. And then you got certain people that's like, let me see how that played out. You know what I'm saying? Let me see how that ended. Hold on, y'all. Alright, please hit the like button, y'all. Support the show. You said AEW will never go at WWE like that. They work together. Absolutely. And then not even just that. It's already been done. It's already been done. It's already been done, y'all. Oh, boy. Oh, I can't find this thing. Shit. All these rubber bands. Lord have mercy. I'm having a horrible week, y'all. Y'all please hit the like button. Please support the show. All right. So you said you can't be anything as a promotion unless you get WWE signing off on it. You say, yep, they can talk smack here and there, but it'll never get serious. Yeah. You know, too much former WWE talent there. Yeah. I mean, it's not like, you know, it's a place where you can send, you know, WWE talent that you know, not necessarily want to punish, but if they're just not fitting in storyline wise or whatever. Like right now, there's a whole talk about R-Truth. You know, he kind of fumbled that too. You know, when they were saying that he got let go by the WWE, a lot of people was like, "Oh man, we need Truth back," blah blah blah. You know what I'm saying? And then he came back, and then it was like, that he cut his hair, and then he couldn't really stick to the gimmick and stuff like that. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I really don't watch the guys. Like, I just watch the women, man. The women are the ones that's holding down the WWE right now. They're holding down AEW too. I just watch the women wrestle. Yo, I saw this video that I'm gonna see if I can put up with some commentary. Yo, EOS Sky is no joke, bro. I saw some videos, an old video. She used to dress completely different. She was badder too. She's just like a big kid now, which is hilarious. But EOS Sky, back in Japan, oh, she used to wrestle. Like, she's PG in the WWE. They just got her doing like missile drop kicks and stuff like that, bruh. EOS Sky is a fucking she's a fucking beast. She's like a female Rey Mysterio. She's like a female Rey Mysterio. EOS Sky is no joke. I should have known when she did that crossbody off that damn jumbotron that bitch was crazy. But nah, man, EOS Sky is no fucking joke. Like the old the more skinnier EOS Sky. Yeah, Bailey is cool. I like Bailey. She just got a Jay Leno face. Bailey. Bailey looked like Jay Leno. Oh shit! I know I ain't the only one that was thinking like that. Bailey looked like Jay Leno. Oh man, I'm gonna get hate for that. Yeah, I heard Kofi was cool. I heard Kofi Kingston is a pretty cool dude outside of the ring. You said Tonight Show Cuda going there? Oh fuck! Y'all hit the like button, support the show, y'all. Please hit the Cash App. I definitely need your support, y'all. And you know, please, y'all bless the show. Y'all can't unsee it now, dog. Nigga, Bailey look like Jay Leno. I said, why does woman look like Jay Leno? It took me a week too. I'm like, look, it took me a couple weeks too. I'm like, who the fuck does Bailey look like? That I can't quite put my hand on. I can't quite put my hand on it. I'm like, I give myself a little bit of time. I'm like, you know what? It'll make sense soon. And then I thought about it. One day I was like, aha. I think I was watching Jay Leno's Garage or Doug DeMiro or something. I'm like, Bailey looks like Jay Leno. You know, she looked like Jay Leno. You know. Not necessarily the chin, because people always they look at the Jay Leno chin, but nah, Bailey looks like Jay Leno. Shout outs to the new people getting in the building. Please bless the show. Hit the Cash App, double tap the screen, hit the like button. We just chopping it up. But yeah. So what else we gotta cover? But yeah, getting back to some of the conversation earlier. What's going on? What's going on, Larry? Is my audio choppy, y'all? So getting back to the conversation that we're having earlier. I don't even know why y'all listening to Coach Greg Adams try to tell y'all about the game. He doesn't use game. Y'all be listening to the wrong people trying to tell y'all about the goddamn game, and they don't have game, which is funny because it's like guys like Coach Greg Adams. You're like, okay, well, you're a smart dude. Why don't you have any game? Like first of all, certain women, whether you're a celebrity or not, it should be a privilege to be around you. You know what I'm saying? It should be a joy to be around you. A guy that's that's sitting up there tricking like that, he don't put a premium on his presence. And sometimes you sit up here and you listen to guys and you be like, why the hell are you worried about you pay for women? Why the hell would you be worried about if a woman is cooking and cleaning for you anyway? You rather deal with prostitutes and stuff like that. And I'm not even gonna lie, to a certain degree, on some square shit. Like if a square woman, if women wasn't acting like such whores today, and they were real, and you do got some real square women, and unfortunately, y'all learn the hard way when y'all find out that your girl is a square. A guy dealing with prostitutes, square women, real square women would actually rather her man cheat on her with another square woman than him going to go deal with prostitutes. And y'all can't refute that. If you get a woman that has any type of value to her, and she's like, oh yeah, your man is taking money from the household. Not even, that's what they hear. That's what they hear. Oh, your man is taking money from the household and paying hookers and shit like that. And it's like, really, nigga? That's what we doing? We paying hookers? Like, think about it, fellas. Like, because, a lot of y'all niggas, y'all like to think y'all know how women think, but y'all never really put yourselves in their shoes. Not saying that you should, but maybe you should to get some clarity if you don't have no game or know what you're talking about. What if your girl cheated on you with a gigolo? Niggas don't get married because their women do shit like that. What if your girl was to cheat on you with a damn gigolo? How would that make you feel? Like, really? That's what we doing now. You cheating on me with weirdo niggas that do bachelor parties. That's extra corny. And I'm not even gonna lie. I'm not gonna tell y'all to try to get over the cheating and shit like that. But that's even more of a fucking red flag, for you to leave. But see, it's a little bit different with square women, because guess what? Square women didn't look up to prostitutes. Real square women don't look up to prostitutes. They look down on them. Because at the end of the day, she feels that she didn't have to stoop that low to get the things that she wants. or sell herself out to get the things that she wants. So when she see you associated with that and you up there snickering and giggling and having fun, it's like, you know what? I deal with a nigga that cheated on me with my best friend or somebody else and shit like that. Like the fact that he gotta did, you know, that says a lot to a woman and shit like that. Like, dang, bro, you need to deal, like, why am I with you if you need to deal with hookers? You know, women have more of a capacity to take cheating, and I commend them for that. You know, even though I don't, you know what I'm saying? I don't, I don't cheat. You know, I actually have a fear of cheating. You know what I'm saying? I don't cheat. I'll just leave or end something. You know, it's never that serious. You know, and I'm big on loyalty. I don't like, you know, I don't like betrayal. You know, betrayal is is a bit, I'm big on the betrayal thing. I don't handle betrayal well. You know, I know how I am, and definitely I do not handle betrayal well. You know, so I don't even invite, you know, if I let somebody into my space, I don't even entertain that shit. You know what I'm saying? I definitely don't entertain that shit. You dig? You can miss me with that bullshit. You're going to miss me with that bullshit. I'll make sure you miss me with that bullshit. You dig? Um, my bad, y'all. I'm back here drawing. Um, Not a skating gigolo. Hey, yo, you gotta chill, bro. Not the skating gigolo. Rollerblade. Call that nigga Blades. Okay. You said I chopped it up. Hold on. You said cheating is a shameful act. Only black women like that lifestyle. That's why I bypassed them. No, there's other women that like that lifestyle. You said, Cuda, I chopped it up with a dude while in Brazil, and he said with his whole chest that he had prostitutes. He was young too. I was like, damn, it's bad out there. Not really. It's not really bad as you think. You know, it's not really bad as you think. You know, those women, they receive instructions from their men, and they just, man, a nigga will sell you his whole wife in some of these foreign countries. A nigga will be like, that's my wife. You like her? $10. $10. Oh, you like my wife, huh? $40. I see you staring at my wife. $30. She's yours. She's our wife. The Y in your wife is silent. $12. Them niggas can't wait to auction they bitch off. Like, she been getting on his nerves all month. And nigga, yeah, take her, please. $10. Shit. You want to marry her? Hey, $40 and a cow. What's going on, Bronze Flat Power God? Good to see you, man. Y'all please hit the like button, support the show. On the way in, hit the Cash App. Please hit the Cash App and support the show. $60. You know? It's some real shit. You know, that's really how it goes. You know, I'm supplying the labs today. All right? That shit for real. You said him got quick visit special where the money resides. Right. Shit. Them niggas can't wait. You know? So a lot of women in those other countries that, they that's why I'm like, I wish one of them, one of them passport bros, think they tried to try me, talk about some you salute the pimping. I'm like, yeah, you want to talk about it? Don't sit up there and be no passport bros and talk about some you have a problem with the pimping when you've paid for some coochie before in some of these countries and shit like that. So, it's not even about supporting no damn sex trade or nothing like that. But, if you a trick and you've benefited off of it, don't let me catch you in these YouTube streets talking down about no type of game or the pimping and shit like that. Because first of all, 9 times out of 10, you don't have any game. That's why you tricking, And then also, I'm not telling y'all to be pimps. I'm not telling them to be pimps. I'm not telling them they should love the pimping or anything like that, but it's a thing of don't speak on something that you don't know, especially when you're paying for women. You don't know if she got a pimp or not, And it's not husband material to be hanging out paying for coochie, So Coach Greg Adams, no matter which way he goes, he dead wrong to a certain degree. And I like Coach Greg Adams. I don't got nothing wrong with him. I'd like to chop it up with him and smoke a cigar with him, but like for real, he dead wrong on a lot of BS that he perpetuates and grifts over to. You know what I'm saying? You said, Cuda, what's the difference between a married man in a relationship cheating by going to the strip club and another square woman or renegade, and another square woman or renegade? Wait, what do you mean? What's the difference between a married man in a strip club, in a relationship cheating by going to, or are you trying to say what's the difference between a married man in a relationship cheating with a square woman versus a married man going to the strip club? Is that what you're trying to say? Because the thing is this, Jay, right? The thing is that, there's a difference between a guy driving up and down the track in the fan, up and down the strip club, and you're like just mongering, and you want hand jobs, and there's a difference. Women would rather you cheat on her with a square woman than just like a straight up slut, like a stripper, like square women and shit like that. If you and your lady work at a grocery store, or y'all drive trucks and stuff like that, if you're not talking to a regular woman, like let's say if you drive trucks, right? And you're talking and you cheat on her with just a regular woman that got a 9 to 5, get up and live her life and do her thing, she'll have a little bit more respect for you than she find out that you're dealing with lot lizards that she knows, or have seen. You know what I'm saying? She'll have a little bit more respect for you, and the relationship's a little bit more salvageable than if she finds out like really, bro, like a lot lizard, like you couldn't get yourself a real woman, and you just had to, you know what I'm saying? It's a little bit more covert. It's not even covert now, but it's a little bit more tricky now to explain this to men, because guess what? A lot of these women look up the strippers. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these women look up the strippers and shit like that. They even have a skit where it's a guy cheating on his girlfriend, and she caught him cheating, and she wasn't even mad cheating on her with a prostitute. She was mad because she's like, this whole time you were willing to pay, The hoe is just the steak. Your girl's supposed to be the sizzle. You don't buy steak without the sizzle. You gotta have the sizzle. You looking for a woman that's gonna, that's gonna sell that to you. And you definitely dead wrong if you sitting up there with a whole girlfriend at home, or she dead wrong, it's really a testament against her. And you sitting up there and you getting a girlfriend experience. You paying, let's say you paying for the GFE from these hoes, and you paying generously for the GFE, you know, for a woman to pretend like she likes you, or that she's your girl, or whatever, and shit like that. Man, that square woman has she is within all kinds of bounds to not fuck with you know. But the thing is that a lot of square women aren't separate from the hoes. You said not really, depends on the stripper ones that keep a close eye on her, and the money can manage. But today, these youngsters turned it into something else. Yeah. You said pay to play is legal in Brazil for renegade chicks, not for trafficking though. Yeah, they always trying to scratch the man out of it, because the thing is that the government would like to make money off of prostitution, but the thing is that the pimp, he doesn't. The real problem is the pimp doesn't report the earnings to the government. So basically, he's running a business where he could be laundering money. You know what I'm saying? He could be laundering money. So it's like okay, he's not reporting his earnings to the government and stuff like that. But the funny part is that the women don't report their earnings neither. But they weaponize the women. You know what I'm saying? They weaponize the women for to do that, which is crazy. You said I still haven't seen one passport bro with a baddie. Hold on, I'm breaking up. Hold on. All right, what about now? All right, y'all, please hit the like button and support the show. I'm trying to get this thing fixed, y'all. You said I'd rather take my girl with me. It cuts a lot of bullshit out the picture. We both have a good time, and she keeps some greasy single mom stripper up off me. Strippers get mad as hell when they can't hustle you. You bring your good girl with you. Laugh out loud. Yeah, yeah. You know, I had a couple of wing women. Wing women, they work really well. You know, until they wanna sleep with you. That's the thing about wing women, man, that I've realized. Like after a while, they see you get so much beautiful women, they're like, oh shit, why am I not talking to you? And it's like, no. You know, I've had some wing women that were bad as hell. And then, there's a couple times I almost caved in until I realized, I'm like, nah, I'd rather you be my wing woman. Cause I ain't gonna lie, the wing women are out here getting smashed also. I had one wing girl, and while she see me getting other women and shit like that, I seen the type of guys that she got, and I ain't gonna lie, she done had some trains ran on her. And I'm like, dang, I keep getting humbled. I'm like, dang, this girl is beautiful. But bro, if y'all knew her like I knew her, hell no. And then, you know, she used to do all kinds of different things. She would indulge in the nose candy. She loved the nose candy. This girl used to indulge in nose candy and stuff like that, and it surprised me, because I'm like, man, how does this girl is this beautiful? She indulges in nose candy, and this bitch don't go to sleep. Well, she be sleeping during the daytime, but she, you know, she stay up. So she not getting beauty rest. And I'm like, dang, this girl indulges in nose candy, and if you don't know her, you would have never known. You know, when I start getting daddies like that, and I realize how much drugs they do, I'm like, dang. And I'm like, you know, they pull men. They pull men into the drugs. You know, I've seen a lot of guys that wasn't gonna do or was never introduced to drugs at all. I've seen a lot of men get pulled into it because it's like, don't you want the baddie? Don't you want to be known for having the baddies and stuff like that, and doing what's going on, Stoic, and doing the drugs and the yerba and the, you know what I'm saying? I've seen a lot of guys that would have never indulged in drugs or be around drugs and stuff like that get into drugs because they're with a quote unquote baddie. You know what's going on, Cynical? All right, y'all, please hit the like button and support the show. Bless the Cash App on the way in. If you already blessed it, thank you. Let's keep the support going. Please hit the like button and support the show, y'all. I'm on my phone today because the Wi-Fi is done. It's Jadunsky, y'all. You know. So if you guys could please support the show. I got you guys on the content. We've already been chopping it up for a great minute. All right. You said I've only seen a baddie was the only baddie I seen was with I Showed Speed. He hired her to be his girlfriend, and she's an actress. Oh yeah, I think I did see that same girl. Yeah, she was cute. I Showed Speed left Keisha behind. Yeah, they've been in the trains. Yeah. Only baddie I had was oh my God, Chris G. Come on, man. I'm just saying. I mean, it you know, when the reality of those type of women set in, bro, it's like you will see how head over heels or in over their head dudes are. And I mean, unless you with some players or some notable men, man, they ain't gonna believe. You know, so it makes no sense even, you know, talking to dudes about this type of stuff, because it's like, bro, just live your life, bro. Because, you know, them niggas gonna try to, you gonna have to try to fight them niggas to fucking you know, you gonna have to try to fight them niggas to reason with themselves. And then plus them niggas want to get hooked on drugs anyway. So taking away that shit from them is like taking away their drugs, and they're gonna fight you over that. So you don't know if you fight the nigga over what's right for him, or if he wants to go do some damn drugs with some goofy bitch that ain't gonna be bad in the next couple of years because she deteriorating. You know. Yeah, but most black men ain't into that. You know, if you see a black man into Asian women, it's most likely a fetish. No one talks about that. If you see a black man that's into Asian women, he don't even know if he likes them. You're dealing more with a fetish than actual like. Because you ask these niggas, well, why do you like Asian women? Well, I used to watch Naruto, and it's like, see, this nigga here. You know, usually that shit comes from a fetish when they like Asian women and shit like that. Especially if they're in the United States. If they're into Asian women, that shit usually stems from a fetish. Especially if they're black. You know? So I can read them niggas like a book. Because Asian women have a particular type of build and shape and stuff like that. And a lot of brothers usually ain't into like the Asian women and stuff like that. You know, the guys that's like into Asian women, and I wouldn't necessarily, I would say it's a preference. It's not necessarily a fetish. The white boys. The white boys are actually into Asian women like that. You know what I'm saying? And vice versa. They be into the white boys also, but for like the myriad of reasons. Even Asian women, when they're into black men, it comes off as a fetish. You start seeing the Lao Keishas and the Thai Keishas and the different type of Asian Keisha. You know what I'm saying? So it's more of a fetish by time it gets around the black people. It's like usually the anime cats and stuff like that. It's like it's a different type of body style. They like more petite women and stuff like that. Oh yeah, yeah. I think I did see that. Yeah, I think I did see that. What's her name? Ayuska. I forgot her name. Wasn't she Japanese? Yeah. A lot of people like to be fetishized though. But the white boys, they get fetishized. They get fetishized also, and a lot of them are getting tired of it. You know what I'm saying? Because you know, in these times, people are clinging to white men for financial stability and stuff like that, and it's like the white boys are like, well, who said I was that financially stable? I'm going through it also. And listen, those women still fetishize those guys. They don't care. They'll get themselves a bottom shelf Brad in a minute. And y'all should stop taking Cynthia G and all these other sisters seriously when they were popping up with nothing but bottom shelves Brads. After they were clowning y'all dudes for dating bottom shelf white women. Y'all should have stopped taking them serious a long time ago. Ain't no man worth a damn that's about to date no damn Cynthia G. What man in his right mind will date Cynthia G? It's like y'all niggas aren't men. It's like damn, bro, you believe in unicorns so much. Nigga, imagine if you think that Cynthia G can get herself a white man worth a damn. You believe in her more than she believe in her own damn self. Ain't that ridiculous? How far does your woman worship go, my brother? That you believe in Cynthia G more than she believe in her own damn self? And I talked about it on the last show. Like those divestment women and shit like that, openly displaying their disloyalty. That's not an attractive trait to a lot of white men. And I've even went as far as to say, hey, listen, if that sister claimed that she's a good sister, and she gets with a racist white man that wants to take her away from a black man, guess what? I believe that he still deserves a good black woman. If she claims that she's a good black woman, that she claims that she is. So okay, she wants to leave the black man. She wants to, stick it to the niggas. Hey, I got me a white man that's gonna do all of this dumb shit for me. Cool. I still, if you're a good sister as you say you are, you know what I'm saying? That quality about you shouldn't change no matter with what race of man that you get with. You know what I'm saying? If that's your if that's your MO. So, okay. So, if that's what you want to do, cool. But guess what? No white man worth a damn about to put up with that shit. And then number two, you've never seen Cynthia G. You don't even know what Cynthia G can cook. Can she cook? I said this on the last show. You know, they can't even be trad wives. Cause that's how those divestment women present themselves, as trad wives. You know? So that's why the white man is going after the Japanese girl. You know, the white women be trying to follow the white man to Asia and shit like that. Y'all have no idea the shit I done saw. White women be trying to follow, you know, the white man to Asia. They be trying to follow their man to Asia. And guess what? They can't compete. They can't compete. So that's why a lot of the white women in America, they're getting with black men. And black men are getting decent looking white women. Because, like I said on the last show, I don't think it was there, Raven, that there is a quote unquote particular type of white girl that goes after black men. Just like any other woman, you know, they kind of, I guess you could say, dress up like hip hop. That's what they calling it. But you know, you got a lot of now notable actual baddie white women going after black men. And I talked about it because there was a video that I was going over that we didn't get to finish because my Wi-Fi went out during this storm. She talking saucy to black women. And I'm like, sit up there listening to this white woman talking saucy to black women, and it's like, sis, just go enjoy your black man. I wouldn't do that. And, you know, I even went as far as to say, look, she better be careful, and hopefully that black man didn't put her up to talking crazy about Keisha, because any black man that'll put that white woman up to talking crazy about Keisha, that man still likes Keisha and still wants Keisha. That white woman just don't know it. She don't have to talk crazy about black women to get her point across. She just got to exist. You starting to see a lot of these videos where black women are saying when they see a black man with a white woman, their blood boils. And it's like, why is their blood boiling? You know, why is that a testament towards you? You know, what's going on, Gail? Good to see you, love. You know, why is their blood boiling? Why is that a testament, you know, hold on. God damn. Wait, what the hell? Hold on. Jesus Christ. I can't do this phone thing. My bad, Gail. Thank you, love. No, but it's like, you know, why is that a testament towards you? And I'm like, shit, I hope that man didn't put that white woman up to talk crazy about them sisters, because them sisters going to take it to a level that white woman ain't ready to go to. Those sisters are going to take it to a level that white woman ain't ready to go to. I get it. One day she woke up feeling saucy and she thought she could say whatever, but you don't do that to black women. Hell no. I don't give a damn how much black men you done dated. You know, she wasn't ready for that shit. Like, okay, we hear you, sis, but don't do that. You know, I get it. You love your black man. You know what I'm saying? You love your black man, but that right there, you're not gonna win that battle. Definitely not gonna win that battle. So I hope that goofy ass nigga didn't put your ass up to talking, getting on here talking crazy about black women, because You know what I'm saying? That's not going to work out the way you want it to work out. You know. And like I said, it's crazy how black women say they blood boil when they see a black man with a white woman and shit like that. You know, it's crazy. You know. But see, in the old manosphere, black men, we didn't care about the black woman getting with the white guy. You know what I'm saying? We kind of they had our blessing. You know, and it wasn't no kumbaya shit, but it was more so like, listen, if it works, brother, it works. This is the old manosphere, right, y'all? But then you know what happened? There was a sister by the name of Nola Girl. When Nola Girl, which was a white woman, it was a brunette-haired white woman, and she spoke like she had some sense. Which, I'm not even gonna lie, should have been a red flag. This is why the white guys don't like the white women dating the black guys no more, because if they find a white woman that speaks like she has some sense, 9 times out of 10 she's dating. First of all, 9 times out of 10 she's in a relationship, and she's receiving some type of guidance or tutelage from her man that she respects in that relationship. Or 9 times out of 10 she's with a black guy. So that's why if y'all see why a lot of those guys didn't like Pearl and stuff like that. When you see a lot of those guys going against Pearl, it's because of that. It's because at one point, you know what I'm saying, they trusted their girl, their woman too much, and it backfired. It backfired on them. So that's why they don't like Pearl. That's why they call white women mud sharks and stuff like that. They call them mud sharks because they're dealing with black men. And they're like, oh, well, that black man is gonna leave you, you know what I'm saying, with a baby. And that white man gonna look crazy as hell taking care of you. What's going on, Mella? That white man gonna look crazy as hell with you, taking care of that black baby. Good to see you, Mella. So, and then you had other women that were somewhat riding for the black community. You had Jane Elliott. That's an older woman and stuff like that, but she's like respected. And then you had girl rights what? You know what I'm saying? Not coal burners. Coal burners? Yo, not coal burners. That's diabolical. Coal burners. Oh man. But yeah, I mean, a lot of those a lot of those white boys, they didn't go for the sisters though, because it's like, at the end of the day, it's like, what part of I'm racist don't you get? I don't give a damn about about no damn coochie. A lot of those dudes, they would choose politics, and racism over you know what I'm saying, over having sex with black women, and it wasn't like a particular type of black woman. Like now, you could tell the black women that deal with the white guys, that's kind of fairly easy. You know what I'm saying? speaking of wrestling earlier, Raven, you know the type of black girls that deal with the white guys. I'm gonna give you but black guys love these type of girls too now. But a lot of them they lose their girl to the white guys. You know what type of sister deal with the white guys? Speaking of AEW, there's a wrestler over there named Athena. Athena is the type of black woman that the white guys will go for, and she'll deal. She probably got a couple of white boyfriends under her belt. Athena. They used to make her lose a lot of matches too, y'all. You know. You said go Chris, go sit Chris in timeout. What did Chris G say, man? You said and without his phone? Coal burners is crazy. I wonder where that concept came from. Well, I kind of can figure it out, but that's funny. You said she's from Dallas? You said black women have turned me off, man. Uh-oh. You said there's a lot of reasons black women play in the snow. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I agree. There's a bunch of reasons that they play in the snow. You know? But that's a narrative that I've been hearing, getting passed around in these spaces that, that I've heard this disrespectful narrative that black men only fought for civil. Can you guys hear me? Hopefully you guys can hear me. Am I back? Okay. Thank you, Gail. Thank you, love. Oh, I've been having a bad week, y'all. Please hit the like button. Shout outs to everybody here. Okay, we back. All right. Yeah, I was saying that God, I don't think he's hiding anything from us. I think he wants us to know the truth. The thing is that things that are worth value, they're hidden. They're not necessarily in plain sight. In plain sight. So, you know, um, I think he wants us to know the truth. You gotta seek the truth. You know, and I just think that a lot of people that seek the truth, when they get it, they're not as happy as they thought they would be. And it's not even that. It's because they kind of know. They kind of know. They kind of know already. A lot of people they kind of they're kind of mad. They get mad when the truth is evident. The truth don't have to explain itself. It's just right there. Like the delivery of the truth is pretty evident. You know what I'm saying? So I think God, he definitely want us to know the truth. He said the feds have stopped up CDL slash ICE inspections. Well, listen, let's get into a little bit of politics. What are y'all thoughts on Donald Trump sending ICE into these major cities? Because y'all know Chicago next. He said that he's going to get crime in Chicago over with within a day. He said 1 day. 1 day he's going to get crime in Chicago over with. Them niggas gonna have to put up all the Dracos and all them other guns that's finna jam. The military got guns that shoot laser beams and shit now. Like so that shit ain't finna fly. You know what I'm saying? That shit ain't that shit ain't finna fly with them soldiers out there. You dig? The truck spots have turned into ice stops. Yeah, they gotta get those. They gotta get those lot lizards up off the scene. What are you doing out here? No, go inside. I wonder if War Master ran into them out there. You know what I'm saying? I wonder if War Master have ran into ice while during his travels, because that would be pretty interesting. You know. It's all over the news now. War Master surely has some stories. Yeah. Not you got a pet. This right here, this is my pet scripper. This is my pet scripper. You dig? This is my pet scripper. Oh, y'all hearing the scratching? Y'all hearing the scratching from my I'm up here drawing, y'all. Trying to get my mind together. I'm not having a good week. I should do like a top down. Yeah. Wait. Oh, okay. What are you doing out here? Go back inside. I was about to say, cause yeah, this canvas that I'm like scribbling on, it has like a scratching sound, so it might sound like a dog panting or scratching. But yeah, yeah. You got a pet? Oh shit, that's funny. Yeah, that's what's going on, y'all. That's literally what's going on in the world today. I mean, you got the National Guard, and the Army National Guard. You can. Yeah, you got the Army National Guard. That's gonna be bold as hell if you a civilian and you out there. You know what I'm saying? And you out there going against the Army National Guard. That's not. That's when you know you tripping. Them niggas guns fold up. You better stop playing. And that's literally the epitome of American civilians policing American civilians and stuff like that. America is not used to that though. Like, no, the people outside their house with military guns and shit, telling them to, go back inside, or don't hang out here. This is trespassing. You know, stuff that they've taken for granted and shit like that. And it's funny when you see people outside your crib with them guns like that, because the funny part is that you only see shit like that in like Call of Duty and stuff like that. And it's like, are those guns even real? And it's like, yeah, fuck around with them and find out. Fuck around a little bit and find out. Those guns are absolutely real. Is that AK real, sir? Run up on me real quick and find out. How about you run up on me real quick? You said they better get them some act right, and the guards are armed too. Play that fuck around and find out. Yeah, man. Yeah, y'all guns versus their guns. Let's see who got more fire. Let's see who got more firepower. So a lot of people, they're like, oh, I don't f with the police. Okay, well, this ain't police. This ain't police right here. And this is something completely different. You know. You said even the EO for rapid response team helicopter and shit. I mean, look, I remember when COVID was popping off and they was out there and stuff like that. That shit was crazy. I seen one of them Humvees drive up and down my street and stuff like that. And I was like, damn. Oh, them niggas out here, But I was an essential worker, you know. I was an essential worker, so I didn't really too much, I had my papers on me and stuff like that, shit in case I got stopped and stuff. And I was really worried about getting to work and helping people. You know what I'm saying? I didn't talk about it on YouTube though, but whole time I was an essential worker, and I knew they used to brief me and it's like, look, you might catch COVID helping these people. So I'm like, dang, you know. And I knew COVID was around me too. Where I was at, I knew for a fact COVID was around me. But as long as I you know what I'm saying, as long as I wash my hands and stuff like that and try not to be around people that was coughing, I prayed I was okay. And then guess what happened? I ended up getting into a car accident and catching COVID. I couldn't even take any medicine for the COVID. Actually, I didn't even need to take, it wasn't even that. The COVID wasn't as bad. Well, it was bad, but Um, I couldn't take pain medication. I was suffering the whole time. I couldn't take pain medication because I couldn't take pain medication because I had COVID, and if I had took the pain medication that they gave me, I would have it would have prolonged the COVID. It actually made it worse. You know what I'm saying? So I couldn't take the medicine that was given to me from the physician. You know. He said, "Yeah, I got a new real ID just to be sure I ain't having no problems." Yeah, yeah, and just make sure your papers are right. That's what my friend was telling me. She was like, she hit me up out of the blue, out of nowhere, not too long ago, and she was like, what you been up to? And I'm like, why is she messaging me? But shout outs to her. But she was like, "Oh, it's crazy as hell out here in the area," and I'm like, oh, "Okay, that's what's up." I was like, "Are you good? Like, are you out there with the National Guard? Are they are they messing with you or some shit? And she was like, "Nah." She was like, "I'm in Southwest," and I'm like, "Okay, cool. I don't think that makes a difference, but all right." And she was like, "Yeah, they out here, but like, as long as you ain't riding dirty or doing no wild shit, you don't really gotta worry about them, you know." But she's like, "Yeah, they out there." What's going on, AM1? A part of COVID was the flu rebranded. I'm not pushing the fake narrative, but like, I around that time, me fasting and a lot of people was on Player Talk Radio, and we were talking about how COVID is a variation of the flu, and it was some of it was a scam, and it was just a big money grab, which I still agree with. But when I caught COVID, oh my god, you know, I when I caught COVID, I'm like, hey, this ain't the flu, bro. I came back on air and apologized to you guys. I said, I know what the hell I said, but this ain't the flu. This shit hurt, you know. But I caught COVID part two. I'm glad I didn't catch that first one because I didn't really feel that lung shit. But like, man, listen, I couldn't feel my lungs though. Breathing was very bad. Um, Technically, I had COVID before I got into the car accident. You know what I'm saying? Because COVID, it 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 sits in your system for like about a week or two before it shows itself. You know, so I found out it was real as fuck. And I'm like, dang, if I was an old person, and I'm an old man, but if I was an old person going through this, yeah, that would not be fun. That shit is not rated. That shit is not a good time for old people. You know. So when I personally caught COVID, I issued an apology. I said, shit. Fred the Godson, all those dudes that passed away from COVID, I'm like, okay, I see why, you know? Because I couldn't take no medicine. And I was fighting, and I was fighting, just getting out of a car accident. I couldn't take no damn medicine. So that shit was very much real. That shit is very much real. Did you catch COVID, AM1? You said there was no new virus. The whole thing was a mind game, psychological. Nah, that shit. I've operated and moved around with the flu. I get the flu like once every other year or once a year, and I get it. I go through the whole winter without getting the flu or a cold, and I usually get it at like the end of winter, or like if I dress down or something, or nah, COVID was 100% real, or whatever the hell I got. You know, whatever the hell I got was absolutely real. Yeah, and then Trump put out a whole manifesto of where COVID-19 came from. COVID variant of the flu was fucking real. You know, I'm glad I made it through that shit because I'm like, if I was old, I barely made it through it, and I'm healthy. I'm healthy. Yeah, a lot of people lost people from that shit. That shit was real, man. Like I couldn't be no. Oh, rest in peace to Grandpa. To I mean, grand uncle. You know, grand uncle Chris G, man. Grand uncle G, man. When I had it, I was like, okay, I see how people passed away. Cause honestly, I was going through it alone. I was going through it alone, and it was summertime too. I caught that bit in summertime. I couldn't eat. I had to drink smoothies. I could barely do that. I was nauseous. I couldn't keep smoothies down. I just had to lay there and fight through it. I had to lay there and fight right through it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Oh my God. Thank you, Anthony Southeast. That's exactly what happened. I just had to drink smoothies, bro. Yeah, the type where you can't taste food. Yeah. See, that's exactly what happened. Yeah. Shout outs to Anthony Southeast. That's exactly what happened. I couldn't taste food. I couldn't eat anything. I had to tough that shit out. No, I couldn't taste food, bro. Ain't no flu ever did that to me. Food be tasting good as hell when you have the flu. If you have folks around you that's gonna make you some stew with some potatoes and some yuca and some green banana, oh fuck yeah. Nigga, soup tastes good as fuck when you have the flu. That's what nigga. That's what made Campbell's who they are today. Nigga, you get you some Campbell's. Campbell's taste. Nigga, you ever ate Campbell's soup when you didn't have to? That shit tastes disgusting. That's why they had to rebrand that shit as with Donovan McNabb and shit with the chunky. What was it? Campbell's chunky soup. They had to rebrand it with chunky. Campbell's soup tastes trife when you ain't sick. But when you sick, oh yeah, it's on and popping. But when I had the COVID, when I had the Rona, y'all, oh nigga, you couldn't taste shit, and it was miserable. Whatever you ate, it was just miserable, and you had to watch what you eat, so you couldn't really. That's why I was like, dang, I see why the old, I had to get some Ensure. Ain't no flu ever did that to me where I had to get some goddamn Ensure, y'all. All right, I had to get some Ensure. You know, I sat there in bed and I'm like, man, I should have never called this shit fake. COVID was whipping my ass. I should have. I should have never caught that shit fake. You know, was some of it a hoax? You damn straight. A lot of it was a hoax until you catch that motherfucker. And I think I know who gave it to me too, because first of all, I worked with this old lady, and she came in one day and she was hacking and coughing, and I'm looking at her like, hey, hold on now. And then like a week later, my ass went down for the count. My ass went down for the count. So I knew that shit was probably, and she didn't catch it. That's the funny part, you know. And then let me tell y'all something too about the masks. Those masks made it worse, because if that shit got into your mask, you just sitting up there swapping. You sitting up there burping and swapping that shit all up in your face. You know. So COVID really, it really did a number on me. You know. You said, what's good, y'all? Shout outs to Anthony Southeast in the building. Good to see you. You said 2020 to 2025, people still trusting the news and government. Wow, shit. No, they had like another variant of it. What was it? The Tetra and stuff like that. I remember even when I went to Thailand, I had to get a PCR test and send it to them and stuff like that. So it's not just the American government and stuff like that. It's also the world. The world was going through COVID, not just the American government. The world was going through COVID. The world was going through COVID. Because it wasn't just the U.S. that was going through COVID. They had COVID out here. They were locking stuff down. I'm one country away from China. China, COVID. America was going, the whole world was going through COVID. I know governments get together and lie and stuff like that. I talk about it, but you mean to tell me that the Chinese government was lying? You mean to tell me that the U.S. government was lying? You mean to tell me that the Brazilian government was lying? You mean to tell me that the Mexican government is lying? All of them were lying? The world was just lying to itself? You said that's the funny part. How you gonna tell me who I caught it from? I caught it from my coworker. I know exactly who I caught it from. I only had two coworkers, and one of them was out, and the one that was coughing, that's who I caught it from. I caught it from an older woman. You gonna tell me I didn't have COVID? I went through the whole thing. I lost my taste. My lungs. I know what the flu feels. I know what the flu feels like. You can't tell me. I know what the hell I went through. I caught it. Did you catch COVID? Did you catch the flu? AM1? Around that time? Did you catch the flu? Because I don't mean the flu wasn't going around. So you may have caught the flu, but some of us caught COVID. I had to quarantine. I took a big L from COVID. Okay, I guess it's a hit piece. You just want to go against. I got you, AM1. I got you, bro. God damn. We're talking about COVID. It has nothing to do with red pill. It has nothing to do with game and player shit. You know. So everybody's lying. Okay, gotcha. We talking about COVID. I don't know where red pill and the player shit comes into play. We just talking about COVID. I talk about herbal stuff and healing too, you know. But y'all seem to not hear that part. I haven't heard y'all talk about no herbal stuff and healing. I've never hear the guys in this space that knows all of this stuff. I haven't heard y'all talk about compounds, sarsaparilla, yellow dock. Bladder rack. I haven't heard that talk from the majority of the guys in this space, you know. You didn't catch anything. Okay, see? If you had caught what I caught, you'd be like, "Oh shit." Okay. Okay. I, point proven. No, actually, I do know when it jumped in and infected me. It jumped in and infected me about like a week or two before I actually start having the symptoms. See how COVID works is that it's in your system for about a good 5 days to a week before it shows up. That's how that works. When I was reporting on it, and telling you guys about it, that's what I reported on. And when it happened, that's what really, I know what the. Why are you preaching to the choir? I know what the real red pill is about. Hey, I'm